Hello everybody, it's Brian for thetechera.com, and in this video I'll be installing Windows 8, the developer preview 64-bit edition without the developer tools, onto my gaming desktop. For the specs you could go down below in the description, that's where they will be. But basically I will be installing this onto my 60GB OCZ Vertex 2 SSD that's SATA to 3 gigabit per second. I made a 20GB partition on it. The rest of the space is used for my existing Windows 7 Professional installation. And I will be installing this from a 16GB USB 2.0 flash drive. If you saw my previous video where I tried to copy the installer onto my 4GB flash drive, you would know that it wasn't quite large enough. There's about 50 megs of space that it needed left. But anyway, here we are at the Windows Developer Preview boot screen. Maybe this is what the shipping one will look like as well. Nobody knows. So here we are at the usual installation screen that we've been used to since Vista. So let's click on Next, Install Now, and let's see what happens. Let's go ahead and accept the terms that nobody even reads. Now here we are at the partition selection screen. So here's my 20GB partition that I made on my SSD. You can see that it says that the recommended free space for installation is about 25 gigabytes, so I'm going to go ahead and try 20 to see how it goes. So let's go ahead and click on Next, and we'll go ahead and copy all the files, expand them, and as it says at the top, your computer might restart several times during the installation, so if it does, you just need to go ahead and let it do so, and it should pick up right where it left off. So I'm going to go ahead and come back when it is almost finished, but if anything weird happens, I will go ahead and be sure to show you guys. So right now it just finished doing all the other stuff, which didn't actually take that long. It took only a couple minutes to get there. So let's go ahead and do the first reboot. Alright, so now it is loading directly from the SSD. Here is the Windows Developer Preview boot screen. So it says that setup is updating the registry settings, so that's very similar to Windows Phone, or not Windows Phone, Windows 7, because it also says something similar down there. So it says choose an operating system. So this looks like it is the boot manager for Windows 8, so we could choose my existing Windows 7 partition that is on my SSD, or we could go into the Windows Developer Preview. So let's go ahead and click on that. Now one thing that I'm anxious to try is the near instant boot feature. And it actually just changed my resolution to full 1920 by 1080 on my 24-inch monitor. But anyway, Windows 8, it's supposed to feature super fast boot up times thanks to just the way it works. It pretty much, I want to say caches everything, but that's not the right word. It basically just takes all your started up drivers and all that stuff, puts them into a file, and then it just loads that on the boot instead of reloading everything. Horrible way of explaining it, but in other words, it's very fast. So here we are at the Windows Developer Preview boot screen again. So now everything is full resolution. Let's go ahead and click on Windows Developer Preview one more time. So it is preparing it once again. Okay, so everything is pretty touch oriented, it seems, which is actually the entire point of Windows 8. So let's go ahead and give the PC a name. So I will just call this Brian Win 8. Let's go to Next. Not too sure if there's any audio from the various button presses or anything, but blah blah blah. I don't want to use express settings because I always like to customize my own settings. So I will ask later about the updates. I don't want it to automatically do anything. I would like it to automatically get the metadata and device apps for devices. Don't need to enable the IE smart screen filter. Don't need any of that. Don't want to help Microsoft do any of these things. I don't want them getting any of my info, no matter how private it may be. So, get the latest troubleshooting packs to fix problems. No thank you, we'll just turn some of these off. Let apps access my location using the Windows location platform. I will leave that off for now, we'll try that out later. So now it is time to set up our account, so let's go ahead and enter in the username and the password. Not going to enter in a hint, even though I have to, so like I usually do, I'll just put a space and it will take that. So this is pretty much the login screen of Windows 8. It's very clean, very straightforward looking, very resource friendly on your system. Now keep in mind that I do have a GTX 560 in my computer and seem to have already installed just the basic Microsoft drivers. I'll probably try and install the Windows 7 64-bit drivers from NVIDIA later on just to see how that goes, but here we are at the start screen. So to access your little, I forgot what this is called. They called this something and it started with the C and I completely forgot, so I can't really go there. But here we have some options. So we have settings and things like that. And I'm actually going to go ahead and end this video right here because I pretty much said that this would be for the installation process and not an actual first look. So I will go ahead and end the video and do that in a little while, so stay tuned for the next video.